Okay, so on this amendment to our listing agreements, let's go over the compensation section real quick. For any of this to be relevant, line 18 needs to be checked. And moving down, you'll check either 20 or 21 or both. 20 would be a percentage, 21 would be a flat fee. That's just a straight dollar amount. This would be like 2%, 3%, 4% of total sales price. 22 would be a flat fee, non-refundable and due at listing. 23 is going to be where you want to protect your listing agreement so that if someone sells it out from under you, that you are compensated. This needs to be a flat fee. This does not need to be a percentage. This has a dollar sign here. It's very specific on what it wants. If you want this to be a percentage, you need to convert it to a dollar amount. If you have a $100,000 listing and you have a 3% commission here, and you want that to translate here, you would just do the math and say 3% of 100,000 is $3,000. So you would put the $3,000 here. 25 is a non-refundable fee that if the property is canceled, you would collect it at that time. A lot of people don't worry with that. Some people do. It's completely up to you. But keep in mind that for your seller to cancel a listing, you have to agree to it. So that's it's strictly up to you. Moving down, variable rate. This is if you bring the buyer. So, and you also need to be very specific with your wording here. It needs to say listing agent, not listing brokerage. Because if you put listing brokerage and you list it and I bring the buyer, now we both split that commission. Say you have a 6% fee, or say it's 3.6, here's 2.4 variable. If the listing agent brings the buyer, we are going to reduce the buyer's side commission so that the total is 5%. You need to be very specific with your wording there. Don't say listing brokerage, say listing agent. All right, so moving down. On line 32, this is if your seller chooses not to offer compensation to the buyer's broker. This would be a fully decoupled commission. Even if they select this, doesn't mean that they're not going to get an offer requesting them to pay a buyer's broker's commission. That is still a possibility. So even at a listing appointment, you need to make that clear. Just because we mark this doesn't mean that we're not going to get offers asking for you to pay the buyer brokerage compensation. So line 33, seller chooses to offer compensation as follows. This is our partially decoupled commission that we are offering. This is coming directly from the seller to the buyer's broker. So the majority of us are going to be checking line 33. Moving down, says choose all that apply. 36 is a percentage of the sales price. 37 is a flat fee. I believe that we are going to see more flat fees in the future than what we have in the past. We'll see how that plays out. But say your seller agrees to 5%, 5% total compensation. You're going to do 2.5 to yourself. You're going to do 2.5 to the buyer broker. That's how it's going to read out. This is going to be 2.5. It's not going to be 5%. It's going to be 2.5. This is the compensation paid by the seller to the listing brokerage. So this is Epic's portion of the sales price of the commission. So 2.5% of the sales price here, 2.5% here. That is completely different than before. On the previous listing agreement, you would have put 5% up here and then 2.5% on a It was a line that went across the bottom, looked a lot like one of these lines, but it's completely changed now. So keep in mind 2.5% here, 2.5% here. If you have any questions about the way this works, the way it breaks down, shoot me a text or give me a call.